Cool. So then, yeah, we were just talking with Jen, like, so maybe let's just open this space together, connect with our hearts, and take a moment to recognize how we're feeling in this moment, in this place, and having gratitude for this space that we're creating together. Father, Mother God, creator of all that is, thank you for our hearts. Thank you for all that we are, all that we are becoming. We're asking for guidance, connection, and joy as we move forward on our path. Oh. So
Oh,
take a moment. I'll guide you in the Theta Healing meditation, just so we are anchoring even deeper our question, our conversation. So imagine your consciousness on your heart chakra, rooting your energy into the floor through the different layers of crust of the planet and finding yourself really at home, supported, feeling connected with the center of the earth. And you can feel your vibration that's harmonizing with the vibration of the earth. You're completely loved, and you have this birthright to create. So you can visualize a beautiful light coming from the center of the earth and feeling your body with this unconditional energy. So through the sole of your feet, your ankles, your knees, your pelvis, every single vertebrae is aligning, being regenerated. The nervous system is feeling soothed because of the connection to the earth. You could find your heart is present, your shoulders are relaxed, the back of your head is open. And you can recognize you as if you had a beautiful ball of light, a golden energy throughout your crown chakra. And you can recognize your majesty as a human. You can continue to let your consciousness ascend through different layers of light or darkness, just naturally finding this energy, the essence of your soul, continuing to go through these beautiful lights of the rainbow and finding the pink ray of compassion. You're so compassionate, so much so that you become one with creation. You imagine this jelly-like substance and then this amazingly bright light, tingling light. As if you already had been meditating for 1 hour, you're instantly connected to the energy of creation. And we can just open our eyes and remember that this is how we can be in our everyday lives. So maybe what we can do is we can introduce ourselves briefly. My plan was to speak a little bit about when we offer sessions, like what is the protocol to make the payments and things,
mm,
because there was something in the forum, and I think that's something that many people, it may feel like a big step, but I want to just bring some uh, choice and ease around this so that you could, start to find something that works for you and then it grows so that there's not one way to do it. And
mm.
then maybe because we're such a small group, maybe we can see what is the most pressured issue that is happening. I know that Julia, we were having a conversation about relationships and detachment, so we can either do a mini session on that, or I want to make sure we keep the practice room for when we have the practice event, but we'll go with the flow. So yeah, so I'm in New York and I'm just so grateful that we're connecting as a community. I feel very strongly about the fact that this system of knowledge, right, the Theta Healing, it's very important to work collectively and to discover other people's energy. So I hope that this meeting every month, keeps growing so that we feel encouraged and we could be accountable and we could check in, um, with what's needed. So I'm delighted that you're here. Maybe you want to be next, Jen, since you were here first.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I am Jenny. I am in Sofia, Bulgaria at the moment, and I'm from Bulgaria originally. I love ThetaHealing. It's been a rather short journey. Yeah. So I just got to know about it last August, and I decided to take a leap of faith and go deeper into it. And I am amazed how wonderful it is. It has changed a lot of my quite negative and limiting beliefs as silly as it sounds, I can't recognize myself on photos from before, not only physically, but also like I just can't go back to the boots that I wore like last year. And I'm very thankful because it's been a very challenging period for me, not only because of the Mercury retrograde, but also because of many other retrogrades. And I am actually quite thankful for everything that happened because it got me so far. And from now on, I've chosen and I've requested from the Creator that I don't enlighten myself through hardship. That was a gigantic change for me. And yeah, that's it, pretty much.
Great, thank
I
you.
have a tea instead of a coffee because I prefer tea.
Great. Julia, do you want to also introduce yourself in whatever way that feels right for the moment?
Hey. Yeah, my name is Julia. I'm living in Spain on the island of Mallorca. I'm coming originally from Germany. I'm Theta Healing practitioner since 2017 and 2018. I did in Valencia, I think four teacher trainings. So yeah, it's something that reminds in my heart that I was there in person. I mean, since COVID, we have the instructor trainings. I did only instructor trainings online, but what I realized is this: I have so much in my heart, this Valencia in person, and it was interesting for me that some years later I was moving to Spain after I made this training in Spain. So that's what I can share about Theta Healing. And yeah, I studied film and I am doing artistic work and media designer. That's what I do most of the time.
Nice, thank you.
Mm.
And we work
Awesome.
together a little bit to make beautiful flyers.
Mm.
Makes me happy. Yeah, thank you. And then Emily, do you want to also say hello?
Yes. Hi, I am Emily, and I'm living in California, Redwood City, and I'm going through some hardship recently, and I try to find and strengthen the connection with the creator and see the things positive way what's happening with me. I met with Theta Healing last year in March, and I started to taking course and try to become a theta healer, but in my own way. So I have a job and I can do it next to it.
Yeah, great, thank you. So it's funny because you started talking and I was like, so yeah, maybe let's talk about emotional attachments in the couple or stuff like that first. But then it's like, it's also about this topic of, how we offer sessions and stuff, and it's always a transition for everyone. So let me think. Um, how are you feeling today, Jenny? Like, what do you feel is going to help you the most to start with?
That's
Of the topic that's you're more
good question.
curious about. Yeah.
Well, the topic that you mentioned at the beginning sounded quite interesting and legit as well, because I've had this very toxic relationship with volunteerism as well. In this sense, perhaps it could
Yeah.
be the right
Yeah.
one for all of us if you've already discussed it.
Yeah, thank you. So I think it's nice. And then towards the end, we'll look a little bit about this question of the booking systems and everything for when we offer a session. Thank you. So let's look a little bit at our relationships, but maybe more specifically attachment, right? So when we do you and the creator, there's this notion of the undercurrent, right? Because how is this energy of the past relationship, serving us, right? So in a way, our subconscious is choosing, even if consciously we're recognizing this isn't working for me. This person is not in touch often enough, right? Or this person doesn't, treat me in a way that makes sense, or it's costing me a lot of energy to think of this romance or something. So to recognize that there is an attachment is powerful, right? It's not in the flow, it's not natural and stuff. So we, as theta healers, we have to self-diagnose ourselves, right? Is it my own stuff that I can resolve, and then the situation will transform with this beautiful opportunity, right? Or is this me who's not seeing from the creator's perspective, and I'm putting myself in a situation that's not actually what I want to create? So somehow we get to identify a little bit more like this. So Vayana's book on soulmate is really great because it helps us have discernment what kind of soulmate it is. And one thing that I'm very fond of that she says is, even if it's not your soulmate, if you love them, they become your soulmate. It sounds good in theory. I really love this thinking, but in practice, it's a lot of working on ourselves, right? So also one thing that she says is we're looking for something so beautiful. We're looking for someone that we remember for lifetimes, right? So there's a discernment of the attachment, the hooks and cord that we have in this lifetime. And then the stuff that maybe from, maybe we were connecting to this person that we have a crush on, and we remember this energy, but then it requires a lot of confidence to recognize, well, I could see this person, but then how is this helping my life now? So we don't want to be in a position where, like you were saying, Jenny, we are allowing to learn through the hardship of an unsatisfying relationship, right? So technically speaking, a relationship is an experience of being connected in time and space, right? So we get to decide for our divine timing what works for us as we move forward. But then at the same time, the relation is already written. Like it comes to us no matter what, right? So I think, if I'm picking up a little bit on the energy of the room, it's like maybe we want to look a little bit deeper on when we continue to have an attachment. Maybe if even if it's not really great for now, right? So why don't I guide you first to release the soul fragment, right? The exercise that we do in the basic DNA class, and then releasing the hooks and cords, and just to create a little bit of a discernment and see how it shifts ourselves. And then maybe what we can do is you could each, because I don't want it to be a teaching theta talk. I think maybe we can do is, because it's a discussion from your experience, you can share either wisdom or question to the group so that it doesn't have to be me who carries all the knowledge. But I'll guide you through that first energetic clearing related to that. Yeah. Because maybe I need the same healing that you guys do. Nice. So let's see. So let's connect to our heart one more time. As if we weren't connecting the entire time. We're always deepening this presence, right? This expansion of our aura, this being here and now is is strengthened the more we grow, the more we delve into our spiritual self. So we're so present because we're completely feeling our chakra system, feeling our heart presence. So just take a moment to root your energy into the floor, anchoring yourself. You can feel going through the different layers of crust of the planet, through the rivers and the earth, the rocks. And then finding yourself in the center of the earth, remembering that you're devoted to your divine timing. It's going to be easy for you, even if it means allowing someone to love you in a relationship. So imagine visualizing from the center of the earth all the way to the sole of your feet, your ankles, your knees, your pelvis, gently feeling you with this beautiful unconditional energy of romance, and then rising through the throat chakra. You know how to express yourself, you know, with this comfortable, you know what it feels like to be heard by others. You can take a moment to relax into your pineal gland, just noticing how beautiful your chakra system is, how activated and filled with motion, dynamic. And you can imagine a beautiful ball of light above your head, as if you're in this ball of light, and you gently ascend through the cloud, past the ozone layer, through the solar system. Just notice how amazing it is that everything is actually in motion. And then you can allow your thoughts to travel at the speed of light, going through different layers of light and darkness, finding this golden energy of the fifth plane. Imagine gently choosing the pink ray of compassion, and finding yourself into this jelly-like substance and truly allowing this theta brain wave state. And then you'd completely into your light. So we're going to make the inner command. Creator of all that is, it is requested that any hooks and cords that are no longer needed in my life are being cleansed, sent to the light, and returned to whomever they belong in this life or in other lives, or the time and places. And you visualize your body being purified from these energies. Releasing any responsibilities or any oath or sermons that you may have made with these people, just allowing them to feel free. Just witness the Creator moving things in your body. And then you're going to ask the Creator to bring back the soul fragments that belong to you. So, Creator of all that is, it is requested that any soul fragments in between times, in all lifetimes, backwards and forwards, that belong to me, are being recognized, sent to the light, cleansed, and brought back into my soul consciousness. Creator, show me. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. We're going to also ask the Creator to release any shock or trauma from breakups or any need to experience pain in order not to forget the past. Let's teach ourselves the Creator's perspective, that we know what it's like to create our reality in the present without feeling obligated to the past. So let me give you the command. Creator of all that is, it is requested to release any shock and trauma that's no longer needed related to breakups. Creators show me. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. All right, and the last one is we're going to ask to release the hooks and cords. Right, so creator of all that is, it is requested to release any hooks and cords in this lifetime from any relationships that takes more energy that I receive from it. And we can download also in every cell of our bodies the creator's perspective, that we know what it feels like to receive, that it's possible to be present in our romance, to let someone love us, and to accept the joy of a couple. Creators show me, and then we can all witness for ourselves and can allow holding the space also for the energy of the group to deepen the experience of your healing. So we can take a second to, with the speed of light, like clear the energy. Imagine rinsing your energy, coming back into your space, and then gently opening your eyes. Yeah, so I think it'd be nice for each one of you to share some of the wisdom that you have with the group. It resonates a little bit. Yeah. So I don't know if Emily or Julia, because you're more experienced, maybe Julia, you want to start, or Emily, your mic is open, so maybe you can share, if any thoughts you have that could be helpful for all of us. Thank you.
Well, what I realized in this toxic relationship that I had the attachment, and I was attached for the feeling and what he presented for me, because this is what I was looking for, chasing on my whole life, like kindness, accountability, and playfulness, and care about others. And this was what I was looking for. And when I searching why I am, what did I do in this relationship, and how did it serve me? It's like in my past, I had this experience when I couldn't experience the love, what is caring and kind, because every time I learned that love is harsh and painful, and I will get hurt if I open my heart. And this is why I think I was in this relationship, because I don't know and I fear from the experience what is the love. So there is this, I want to be loved and I want to experience this, but if I'm this kind of relationship, I can experience what I experience, but I can still want what I would like to get. And
Yeah.
what I learned from it, it's like the love is in me. So when I'm still thinking about him, I can feel this warmness in my heart. So it's like, doesn't matter if other person loves me or not loves me. It's like the love is inside me. And if the person can resonate with this love, they will not hurt me because they can't. So if I love someone, I will do everything to make that person feels good, feels loved, and protect that person. So the love is in me, and I need to learn. I don't need outside person to bring up this. So I need to work on my heart, and I need to have this love be present. Doesn't matter what's happening outside and who is standing in front of me or not. And I need to forgive for him, for me, but especially for me. And definitely I need to listen my instinct, my intuition, because from the beginning I knew this is not the correct way and this is not correct what I am doing. And I knew what was his thinking. So just I didn't, I don't know why I didn't believe. So this is, I think, what I learned. And yeah, it's definitely, I'm still fighting with this whole situation because he's popping up every time in my mind, and it's like, but I just need to find the heart, my heart back, and the love, the feeling, and it's like that way. It's like doesn't matter who is there or not.
Yeah, I love what you're speaking, what you're saying. It speaks to me, of like that the world, the love is inside of you. Like it really, I love how you put it. And then with the other thing you said is like you already had your intuition. So regardless of the experiences we have in our lives, it's like we're learning how to be spiritual beings. So of course it's navigating, because as this spiritual energy unleash, it's a lot of love we have to offer. So obviously we're looking, to commit this experience, different places. So the lesson is more about listening to our intuition,
Mhm.
right? And so especially once there's a kind of chemical relationship going on, we're on hormones, and it's kind of like our discernment, it's harder to find that. So it requires, a little bit, navigating. But yeah, thank you for sharing. I don't know who
Thank
want
you.
who I love it to hear that. I don't know who would like to speak next. Jenny, Julia.
I can. Yeah, so for me, it was a bit strange the last time. I'm resonancing with the self-love thing. I had this also to learn self-love. I had this, I had a very strong divine timing, and it felt like really there is my soulmate coming that will maybe teach theta healing with me. And I think I have still a shock because suddenly he wanted only friendship and was not sure, and he was very strange. And I think I made a mistake because I was so triggered that I just sent him out of the house and I blocked him on all channels because there was an energy that made me fear. And since that, I'm not going out of the house. I see no friends, and I miss him so much. And when I asked the creator, is like the next month I should not have contact with him, but he's like around the corner. So I mean, even if I walk around, I don't know if I meet him or something. So it's very strong for me, and I don't know if it's like. I mean, I know, for example, Brandy. Vienna, she always tells her that she that she was separate from her soulmate for some years, and Vienna always saying, "Oh, in that time you should have waited. That's why it's not to." And now they are together. I know, but it needed years. So Vienna is talking about this diamond. So it can be. I mean, Raina, when she met her partner. At the beginning, she was also not liking him, and after time. So I don't know if I'm in this process or whether if I'm attached to something that is not good for me, but I had strong future visions. And for this also, I don't know, because I do so many sessions and sometimes I don't know if the timing changed. So I'm struggling a bit with the future readings, because I saw then I see him again. There is the energy of a baby. There is these timings, but then we did so many sessions. I don't know if my future changed or not. So I'm confused.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
Mm.
Yevgenia, how are you? Nice to see you. Did I pronounce correctly your name?
Yes, you did.
Good,
I'm
good.
Wendy Holder. Hi. I'm sorry I'm late. I just saw it. I just decided to get the last 20 minutes or so. Hi,
This
everyone.
great. This great. We did energetic exercises about romance. So, and then after that, we'll talk a little bit about giving sessions and stepping into that energy. Yeah. So thank you, Julia, for sharing. Yeah, I feel like it's tricky when we're so intuitive because we're like a sponge of information and it's so easy to shift our thoughts and everything. So it's like it's useful to have this uh ability to read into the future. And then also I recognize that my mind, it's showing me what I'm able to understand. So my mind might be like, okay, well, there is a baby, or okay, there is thing. But then we might be, because we can understand for the moment that there's this person is just making, okay, it's a whole person with legs and thing. I can manifest this divine partner. I could see it. So maybe it's like the creator is showing it this person, but it might just not be um the actual person with which we experience this manifestation. Is just what my brain is showing me because I can understand it. So it's learning, and I think it goes back to what Emily was saying about learning to trust our intuition. So I feel like what you're sharing is that you have such a strong commitment to making this beautiful relationship a reality, whomever it may be. And then also you're learning about yourself in terms of boundaries and feeling respected and things. So it doesn't feel like when you're talking that it's so much about attachment. It's more about, it feels to me when you're sharing that it's more about allowing yourself to like unfold into the world, and then the charisma of these energies kind of like comes out of that. So it's no longer like this person is the question. It's more about who you're becoming as you're being loved. So maybe if you want to, we want to share some, like a couple of downloads. Is that okay? Yeah. So would you like to have the creator's perspective in every cell of your body of what it feels like to walk into your life without the fear of other people seeing you, the fear of being recognized as a soulmate? Let's teach you that it's safe to be yourself, and people naturally become who they are meant to be. So you could trust the creator with who the creator puts on your path, regardless of the timing. So let's teach ourselves that we are safe to be ourselves. We are safe to be in our place. So would you like to know also the creator's perspective of what it feels like to allow the moments to guide us without having to always check in the future, right? Let's teach ourselves the creator's perspective that we know what it feels like when we are being replenished, right, by the aura of the couple. Let's teach ourselves the creator's perspective of a fulfilling, respectful, committed relationship that allows us to thrive, that allows us to be an expression of our highest potential. Let's teach you that it's easy and that it no longer needs to be through pain or despair. let's teach yourself the creator's perspective that the fulfilled romance is possible, is comfortable, and that we can allow it in the highest and best way, regardless of the timing. And would you like the last one? Would you like to know the creator's perspective that the creator's got you? The creator has great taste, and that you can work with the creator to have fun with this investigation of who to really continue to grow with. Cool. Yeah, thank you for sharing. And yeah, we can continue the conversation, for there's the French classes, soulmate, and you and your inner circle. So there's some great students. So you can come on exchange sessions there. Feel good? Julia?
Yeah, it's so interesting. Always interested in these processes and what we can do. Yeah.
Nice. I mean, Jen, is there something that you feel like is useful to share with the group or about the exercise we did? Jenny, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, okay, I unmuted myself. Well, what came to me is in relation to, for example, what Julia said is that I've always actually wanted to look into the future as well, but what happens most of the times when I do this is that I get so connected and so not stubborn. It's not stubborn is not the right word, but it's like I just want it to happen so quickly and so soon, and this kind of need comes from my fear of losing the person actually, and comes from the standpoint of kind of like a little bit of desperation and fear of maybe even losing myself in the meantime. So yeah, these three aspects came to my mind. This is something that I've been um, I've been experiencing in the past with friendships and relationships, but I'm thankful that I worked a lot on it, and I think I'm kind of over it now. And but it's so unfortunate. We always, as human beings, try to force things, and it seems like we forget that the other person on the other side, he or she, they always have their choice. And even if we try super hard to force things, it seems like the more we force it, the further that particular vision that we've had goes. So at the end of the day, it seems like we put ourselves in a disadvantaged position, and we lose a lot more because of the fears and because of the desperation, instead of just going with the flow and enjoying the process, because we stress ourselves too much. Yeah, this came to me. Nothing so concrete, but thank you for the opportunity to share.
Yeah, I think was it Mishka who connected us? I forgot how we got in touch or how you found me, Jenny.
I found you on some group, I think.
Oh, okay,
ThetaHealing
no
group.
worries, no
And
worries.
then, and then we did the session with Mary
Yeah.
Miller.
So I muted you because it's resonating. No, because I was remembering exchanging a session with one of the other teacher, Mishka, and she was downloading for me that your soulmate loves you to the moon. And it was just such a, and sometimes it helps me when the the channeled stuff is kind of like poetic because it's funny or poetic, it's seven plane in my understanding of the energy of it. And it's just like this kind of like it felt so unconditional. This person loves you to the moon. They're so like so even if you push them away or everything, they still they know that this is so that kind of like just this playfulness about it, I think was nice. So that's why I ask you because yeah. Um it came from Mishka Forshulova, and so I wanted to give her credit for that thinking. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. I think yeah, sharing has a lot of wisdom, and um, it's very nice to listen to you share your thoughts, Jenny. Cool. So I know that we have 10 minutes left, Yevgenia, like, do you have a question? Do you want to check in? Do you want to introduce yourself? Like,
No. Hello.
no. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So then let me go with the plan. So in the little forum, we were, somebody asked a question about, the like how to ch start charging for sessions. And so I actually messaged a couple of people, to make sure that more people answer, because I wanted to give you the understanding that it's sometimes we make it complicated. But it can be very, very simple, right? So if we decide that we're going to improve our theta healing skills, right? Or if we start to do it more for money, right? It doesn't mean I'm transitioning career and now I need to make my entire income from the sessions, right? It's something that's going to take the time it needs. And some people are more meant to be teachers, or some people are more meant to be practitioners. So the creator is going to give us hints, on if we love it, if we enjoy it, it's something that's going to make sense. And so in the beginning, this energy of creating a sacred space to listen to someone, it can be offered, as an opportunity to train, right? And we can ask in exchange, maybe for a testimonial, or maybe you could cook for me next weekend, you know, just whatever is our comfort zone. And then at some point, we have to honor our time because some of our friends, they talk a lot, and then we're always in this position we're giving to others. So there's at some point there's a shift where like, oh, I don't need to train at this technique. Actually, I'm good at it. And also I'm investing in all these trainings. The point is we want that you're making money from the first class, right? So that it kind of pays for your trainings. That's a nice way to look at it. You could tell the creator, if I'm investing my time and my focus and I'm diligently like working on myself, creator, I'm going to need, to receive this abundance, to put things in motion. So, depending on what you're asking, it's going to come in many different ways, right? But so just thinking of it like this, it feels like, oh, well, it's okay to receive then. And so I think that sometimes we compare ourselves too much to other people when we do this work or when we do anything. And we have a model in our head, or we maybe have an idea of this is how it's supposed to be. So that's a big disease. Like, yeah, sometimes I have that, like, oh, I should do it like this because that's the way it has to be done. And the more I work on myself, I try to recognize these patterns and clear them. So I can give you this freedom right now to know that there's not one single way that it works. I remember one of what the teacher, Mary, that I like to work with, she simply had like a QR code, and she would do like this for her practice group or for exchanging the sessions or when she was a host, for different events online. So a simple QR code that makes the payment to something. It could be like sometimes there is these booking systems, but to be honest, some people are very comfortable with a calendar, handwritten, like a doctor. They have a book and we write it in it. So sometimes we're a little bit obsessed about the technology. And so when we start to work with other people and we need to check on the availabilities, maybe having Google Calendar be the center of this universe of when we want to be available for this kind of, You know, is this a hobby, or is this a side job, or is this my vacation plan, or is this my profession? It doesn't matter, but it's just kind of like good to notice, because it is going to change how we feel about the service that we offer and how we receive money in exchange. So I can tell you in the beginning that I was offering sessions professionally, I see myself as an artist. And I felt so bad to ask more than what I was able to afford or able to commit. And so then that thinking evolved. So I think as long as you're able to be kind of like listening to your own wisdom, and it's a very important thing for people to be able to offer their energy in order to receive from you. So you can be generous all you want. It's important that the other person has a chance to honor you. It helps them heal better. So there are, like I think Suzanne was saying, in the Netherlands, people pay after. Sometimes people pay before, right? It makes sense. So I think on the website, and I can from Think, I think there is one article that is pretty good in terms of like Vienna's guideline and advice on that. And so when we do the teacher training, she always suggests, right, that people should have somebody else take the money, or somebody else, like having a secretary, like her daughters, when she was, growing herself, she was like doing so many sessions, were the people that were working for her, right? So we get to listen to what's needed next. And you guys know, I probably still have fears around that. Like, I'm not figuring out what works for me in terms of these things, so just recognizing what's happening for you, you can make changes. So now, if you're going to use, and a lot of people that I help, like, I recognize that there is, because there's some people, again, comparing, right, that are doing well with websites, right? People think, first, I have to do a really nice website with my best photo, a really, really strong mission statement, and all these featured. And I don't even know someone who, codes or whatever. So we put barriers. It can be so simple. And so it can be, any page that's published online with a little booking thing. To be honest, some of the booking things is the website. So you can have your website forwarded to that place, and then it's simple for people to choose a time. Another thing that I can recognize is, like, I'm an artist, so my time is very flexible. So sometimes I can accommodate. What I recommend to you, when you make your time available, choose a couple of times, because if there's so much time like open, which maybe is so much time open now in my calendar because, I'm like floating. But then people don't think you're in demand or something. So it's interesting to kind of like become better, not just because we're healers and we need to manifest and we talk to the creator and then there's 10 new clients for the next week. It's just, there's also the rigor of becoming better at offering our services, So we want to just kind of like stay anchored on this third plane dimension and become good at, offering a service. And yeah, it's very special for people to feel heard. So sometimes one of the things that might happen when we start to offer services is that the people who are already in our life, they see us as who they know we are, and this new aspect of us, they might not accept, or they might feel, resistance. So sometimes it's easy to actually try with completely brand new people. So you don't have to deal with the dynamics of that. But yeah, so you can manifest and connect, and we will do a manifestation to close, right? With having, ease with receiving payments, and everything like that. But then you can also make goals, right? So there's a lot of like ways that we can think of it. If you think of life goals, instead of thinking like it has to be time-based, it's like, giving yourself permission that you'd love to have more, agency and really help others and impact them. So when you have this kind of clarity of why you're doing what you're doing, it can be exciting because then you can celebrate every time there is a little bit of progress. So it's just about designing what fits for your life. And I really encourage you to come because Julia is going to do the practice group this month. But trying out like exchanging with different energies. When we come to the training, sometimes the people that have similar things they need to work on, they were gravitating to them. And then it's nice that there is all of this, but you can also make a friend and then connecting once in a while. And again, following the guidelines of like making a clear time. Maybe it's a 20-minute session, we wash our hands, drink a glass of water, and 20-minute session for the other person, right? Just so that you could have initiative with working on yourself and then choosing the topic of, okay, I'd like to work on offering sessions professionally. I never charge somebody. Or, okay, I'd like to work on becoming more professional because people have been, paying me, but, they pay late or something. So I want to feel very so whatever topic you decide to work on, it's going to help the other person. It's going to inspire them because if I help somebody, the creator is going to show me things that I'm able to understand for them, with them, but it's also stuff that helps me shift. So really trusting the creator that the more you offer your services, it's like a masterclass. So there is really an incentive for growing as we open into that energy. It's not just about the financial abundance. Is the creator is going to give you exactly the kind of interactions that you need to grow. So you can offer to people that are a little bit outside of your circles so you don't feel to judge or something. And also people who are in this forum, people who you've been in training with. And then you can be like, do you mind? We can both write each other a testimonial, right? And I also, one of the person that I usually exchange sessions with, and she's been a ThetaHealing certificate assigned since 2012, right? She's my friend, Motoko. But to be honest, her website is so old. She doesn't even have a booking system. So then she told me, oh, no, it doesn't. She doesn't. She wrote some things, but it's like people just pay. And she has a Google page with like 20 excellent testimonials. So she's been working, but she doesn't have all the mechanics of how to receive the payment and have everything that makes it look professional. So I think we can really give ourselves, like cut ourselves some slack and taking it easy, but this is not hypnosis. This is not EFT. From the first practitioner level certification you have, you're a certified theta healer, and I encourage you to share that energy however feels comfortable to you, because that's what's going to make you stronger, and you're well trained. Remember, you know how to listen, you know how to have a conversation and hold someone's hand, without projecting your own beliefs. So trust yourself to be in that energy, because you have no idea how helpful it is, right? So yeah, and like I remember I had a meeting yesterday with one of the French teacher, Chloe, and she was saying that Lisa, I recommended her to be an assistant for one time we were doing the training for the teachers in French. Her heater breaks, and then the plumber comes, and of course he's crying in her kitchen for 1 hour, and she ends up doing a session. And then Lisa was like, huh, my heater is broken again. And then she was telling Chloe, well, I guess he needed another session. But like it's just the creator is gonna trust the creator with these synchronicities, right? The only thing is like, one, you're a trustworthy person to confide into. Why? Because I trained you. Because Theta healing, because otherwise you wouldn't be drawn to doing this work, right? It's very courageous to connect to the creator, to keep working on ourselves, to improving our spiritual, gifts. And two, people get to choose, you don't need to be a hermit. People get to choose who they trust. And if they like your vibe, maybe you just open the door a little bit. Say, if you want, I can do a session for you. I'll do only a half hour, so it's not a big deal. But if you like, this is how I work, and we could see where it goes. If you want, we could think of doing it like every week, and just to see where it goes, if you need some support. So we have to find, the words that we're comfortable with to just create a space for talking together and, connecting. You know how to do all that. So do you have questions about that? Or maybe we could share like one sentence or one belief that we need to work on, or download, like maybe let's share a little bits, like all four of us, a little something, four of us, five, like a little bit of something, and then to close, we'll do a manifestation meditation so that we could receive everything we need to improve on this path and receive abundance, right?
I'd love to go first.
Yeah.
If the others are okay with that. I think at the beginning I mentioned that I was digging a lot in that area around the word service and how I serve the world and my community. And what surfaced, and I believe is the bottom belief, is something very beautiful that came all the way from my ancestors, but at the same time, absolutely unapplicable in nowadays society. So our ancestors used to live in communities where they were sharing, where they were growing together, where when I offer some service, you would give me a bag of fruits, or like we would just exchange different goods and services. And yeah, but nowadays this doesn't really work. And I was growing up with this surge and strong connection to the word volunteerism and altruism. So I did a lot of volunteering. I never wanted to be paid for my services. And honestly, I never even expected to be given any gifts in return or anything else apart from just a smile and the nice sensation of doing the work. But yeah, we can't do it nowadays. The world is just changed quite different. So yeah, this is my piece of the puzzle that we're
Yeah.
discussing today.
Thank you. It's like thinking of the virtue of generosity. We're practicing generosity. And then another aspect of being in that virtue is doing generosity for ourselves. So it's a new way of thinking. Receiving might be what our soul is learning to practice in this lifetime, but yeah, it's a balance. So thank you for sharing. I think it's good because the time, I want it to be 1 hour. Maybe Julia, say something. Yes, thank you.
I felt like I have it strong with the trust in the self, like the virtue of trust, the trust in the divine timing, in the own intuition, and also in seeing the future and having an overview of the divine timings. Because I remember like so many times I had this losing the trust, but I see it. And then sometimes I have a timing and I see something and I don't know which time it is. And then I lose the trust. But then 1 year, 2 year later, exactly that is happening. And it's always like that. And to remind myself to, yeah, not go out of anxiety, coming back in trust, and that I am the creator and I have my vision, and I'm trusting in my own path. That's what I would like to download.
Yeah, I
If you
feel
like.
that you have that a lot. Like you sometimes when we work together, you have that, you bring that energy to me. So it's something you might be already a master at that, you know. So that, yeah, congratulations and thank you for sharing that because it's good to remember. Do you want to download us with that? Because you're a
Yeah,
teacher. Maybe
sure.
what we can do is we can get you
Yeah.
to close the space and then when we're finished, so you can sort of like, you know, help us towards the end and I can listen.
Oh, good. I mean, the last download I said already, and everyone who wants it can say yes, and I will witness if you want.
What is it again?
Should I repeat the?
Yes.
Okay, I channel again because maybe other words. Yeah, it's about the trust in their own intuition, in their own senses, in the divine timing, and that you have this. And that is easy, safe, and possible to have full trust in yourself, in the creator, and in your path if you want.
Thank you.
So downloading this virtue of trust from the creator's perspective and tenfolding it in your life and releasing it from separating it from all the situation when you felt like you lost yourself or you lost trust in yourself, so that you have this trust and is already there and you know what it feels like if you want.
Thank you.
And that you know what it feels like to set boundaries in the highest and best way, in a kind way, in a comfortable way. And that is easy, safe, and possible to be psychic and set boundaries at the same time if you want. And there comes the last one, that you know to have how to have trust in your own choices, that you are the creator and you have the willpower to create with your free will and make your own choice if you want.
Yes, thank you.
It is done, it is done, it is done. Please create a show me. And I'm closing the space. You can travel back from the bright white light into your body. Anchor yourself in the heart of the earth and feeling this crystalline energy coming in your system, grounding you. And thanking the creator for all the healing that happened today, all the new knowledge, all the good impulses for bringing ourselves and our business forward. Aho.
Yeah, thank you so much for being understanding. We went a little bit over with the time, but yeah, we'll be in touch and see you next month. And thank you for being here. Yeah, makes me very joyful.